Welcome to Return on Insights, the show where candid conversations with bold founders and leaders spark actionable insights for your business. I'm David Lindover.
And I'm Erin Abatangelo. Every week, we pull back the curtain with leaders who are scaling teams and shaping the future, sharing the insights that create impact far beyond the bottom line.
Discover how high-performing companies build enduring cultures, inspire teams to think bigger, and turn vision into action. If you see storytelling as your strategic advantage, you're in the right place. Welcome to Return on Insights podcast. I'm David Lindover, your host for today. Our guest today is Amber Britton, CEO of Doppler, a leading secrets management platform trusted by developers worldwide. Amber brings a really unique blend of experience from music, marketing, and product growth, which shapes her bold and visionary leadership style. Under her guidance, Doppler's become well known for its developer-first approach, ease of use, and strong emphasis on customer sat. She's also a passionate advocate for diversity and inclusion, leading a team that is nearly half female. In this episode, we dive into Amber's journey, the security landscape, and how Doppler is building the future of data protection. Welcome, Amber.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Me too. My first question, Amber, is how did your earlier experiences and your very diverse career outside of tech shape your approach to building and leading a growth-focused company like Doppler?
Yeah, my career was anything but a straight line. I definitely didn't take a traditional path into tech. I think when I was younger, I didn't even know what the startup landscape was or how you would even be part of it. I have worked every job under the sun. Every now and then I even think about, oh yeah, I did work for a dog groomer once, or I did work in fast food, and I did work at a bookstore. Like just this crazy diverse range of companies that I've worked for. Then I also went back to school or went to college like later in life, what they would call a non-traditional student. I feel like all of that together, when I did find my way into tech, gave me a lot of grit and resilience and reinvention and this growth mindset that I bring to everything I do every day at Doppler. It really translates into how I'm leading here now, where everything that we're doing is about, velocity, experimenting, trying something new, not doing something just because that's the traditional way you might do a function or the traditional way you might do a process, but trying something different. Moving quickly as opposed to going through this lengthy process and removing friction to just be more efficient. That's what I've had to do in my own life to get to where I am. And I think that really translates into what I'm trying to teach others to do and how I'm trying to instill that into the culture at Doppler.
Phenomenal. So you mentioned, you're talking about Doppler. So what differentiates your secrets management platform from competitors? And why is developer first more than just a buzzword?
Well, let me first explain what secrets management is for anyone that may not understand. At a high level, you can think about it as secrets management is how companies keep their digital keys safe, digital keys to their house, basically. Every app, every system, it needs things like an API key or a token or what you might consider a password to talk to other things. And if those areas get leaked, if those items get leaked, it's similar to leaving your house keys on the sidewalk for anyone to just come in with your alarm code written down, right? So a secrets manager helps you store those in one single place, make sure that only the right systems and people can use them when needed, and that you're kind of changing the keys out on any particular basis when new people are coming over, right? For engineers, it means that you don't have to hard code those things, which is how a lot of breaches are happening today by hackers finding those hard-coded secrets in code. It helps developers kind of work faster by not having to think about secrets. They can just focus on building their software without having to track down where a secret is. And it's a much more secure way of pulling from a central place as opposed to storing it on your local machine. And so it helps them do their job better. I think for Doppler, there have been a lot more competitors in the last probably 2 years that have popped up. I would say that our differentiator is not just features. We could definitely go through a list of features that we have or features our competitors have and see how we stack up. Our real differentiator, the thing that I say is kind of the magic of Doppler, is that we are truly built for the developer. we have thought about how the software developer works and what their day-to-day is like, and made sure that secrets can be just very painless. They don't have to think about it. They can just code, right? And it really is the magic. We get that feedback a lot from our users, and I never want us to lose that, no matter what we do in the future, because that is the big game changer, is our developer-focused, developer productivity kind of mindset. That translates when you ask about like developer first, how is that more than a buzzword? I mean, it's at the core of what we do. We talk to engineers every day, and not just the product team, not even just our engineering team, but everyone, the marketing team, the finance team, HR. We listen to engineers, our own users and our own engineering team every day. We understand, how do they evaluate tools? What do they look for? What confuses them? What excites them? What screams authentic? What screams inauthentic? I think that the best products, no matter what you're building, are built with extreme empathy for that end user and how they use you and how you fit into their workflow, as opposed to forcing them to change how they work to use your product. And that's how you kind of build a champion. That's how you get a loyal, dedicated user base. And eventually that translates them into bringing you with them when they change jobs or change systems. That's a huge part of our growth.
I completely get that and completely agree with you. Let's switch gears, though, for a second. Can you speak to the impact of having a team and leadership that's nearly half female and your role as a queer woman CEO?
Yeah. Diversity is a hot topic right now. I think a lot of companies, at least in the US, are up in arms about diversity and either talking about it or fully avoiding it. I don't view diversity as a checkbox. It's not something that you can like say that you did once and then move on from. Right. I think it's a foundational part of how you run your company. And if you have done it the right way, if you are intentional about bringing the right people together, or just people together from different backgrounds, from different walks of life, with different experiences, it is a competitive advantage in the end. I think that it's very proven that teams with broad perspectives outperform. We have made different business decisions because different people were in the room that brought up points that we wouldn't have thought of, right? And I have had the pleasure of working for some incredible people in the past, some incredible women that I've really admired, but it's rare to find, the closer you get to the top of a company's food chain, the rarer it is to see women at the top, people of color at the top. Diversity is not done at Doppler. I want to be an example there, and I want to keep improving what we're doing. But that all starts by making sure you have a broad net, right, to cast the right people interested to positions that you might have open. So for me, it's all about having different perspectives in the room that help you change those business decisions, and then making sure we are keeping our hand extended to pull more people up into those roles as we grow and get bigger.
Very well said. So what are some of the key lessons you've learned about scaling marketing and product functions in an early stage tech startup?
It is difficult for sure. On the product side, I think it's very easy to get distracted by shiny object syndrome. In the beginning, when you're first starting, it's kind of like growth at all costs, right? You have to build everything everyone is asking for because you need every customer you can get. And then you start to get a lot of customers that are paying you money. And you can't keep doing that because any one thing that you build will start to impact something else and maybe break some other part of the product. And that will risk a customer's relationship with you and their ability to keep using you, right? So then you have to start ruthlessly prioritizing. And that translates on the marketing side too. It's easy to kind of pivot back and forth and do whatever's needed at any given time, but you're playing catch up. You're being reactive as opposed to proactive. And so you have to continuously in those functions, ruthlessly prioritize what is going to help us get to our end goal and what are the things that I would love to do, but they're just not going to help us get there quickly. So those have to be left for a future state when we have more people, when we have more money, when we have more whatever. Making sure that you're doing the things that have the most impact in the shortest amount of time is really paramount. And it's just that ruthless prioritization. Know who your customers are. What's the pain they're having? what is the thing you can do from a marketing or product perspective, or from a product perspective that you can build marketing around that solves the most pain for the most people at any particular point. It's not just like headcount. You can't just add more people and solve the problem. It's about making those processes that you have bulletproof from any shiny objects that might come your way.
Right. Well said again. So trends or shifts in cybersecurity that excite or concern you as Doppler is moving forward?
There's a lot that concerns me for sure, but the what's exciting and I think has been overdue for some time now. I've been part of Doppler for a few years. People are finally starting to see secrets management as a need to have, not a nice to have. It's now the baseline, and it's starting to get the respect that it deserves. Unfortunately, that's because there have been so many breaches that have resulted from a leaked credential, but it does mean it's starting to get that attention and people are starting to prioritize it at the top of their list. I think teams have always wanted to prioritize it, but in lieu of other things that are directly related to another initiative, they haven't been able to, and that's starting to change. I do think the big opportunity that around that excites me is that companies are starting to ask what's next. What happens when there are no secrets? What happens beyond the traditional way we think about secrets today? How can you help us move faster while we also stay compliant? Like, that is a really exciting open space that I am really interested in us moving into. On another concern side, I think AI is a common one. As exciting as AI is, and I'm personally really excited about what it can do, it's also terrifying at the speed that it is evolving, especially in the hacking landscape and the threats that it is becoming, or the threats that it's giving towards a company. It's moving faster than companies are prepared to respond to. And it's, hackers are very good and very resourceful. Everyone's also experimenting with AI tools, a lot of employees and different teams and various functions to help them do more with less, because companies are constantly scaling back staff. But then there's not a lot of understanding or documentation or clarity on how you secure the use of AI. How do you allow your team to use it so you're not left behind, but also make sure that you're not putting company secrets out into the world? If one of those tools gets leaked, that you're not going to be a victim of that either. So there's a concern there. There's an opportunity there. I think we're going to continue to see pretty rapid evolution in the AI space.
Totally agree. There's been a lot of conversation on my podcast about the guardrails that don't exist around AI, especially in the corporate world, and what that could foster. And nobody really wants to think about that. It's too painful.
Yeah.
Transitioning, how do you foster psychological safety in your company? And how do you encourage leadership at all levels in a startup environment? So what's the secret?
I mean, I think the secret is that I've experienced, back to the diversity question, I guess, is that in my diversity of experience, I have survived some pretty toxic workplaces, and I am very intentional and determined to not repeat that. And I don't work well in that environment. I don't think most people work well in a negative environment like that. And so I don't want to be that type of a leader. I also think that you don't have to be a manager to be a leader. So making sure that anyone that is a leader of change, a leader of culture, feels that they are able to do that. And by seeing the door open there, it's about ownership. You don't have to be a manager. You don't have to have a direct report, but you can own a direction. You can own an outcome for the business and still be an individual contributor. And I expect leaders at all levels. At our size, everyone needs to be a leader. Everyone needs to be pulling the company forward into the direction that we're going. In terms of psychological safety, I think that comes from every leader being open about their own vulnerability and kind of modeling that, making it okay to talk about those things when you're unsure about what you might be doing, when you're unsure about how you're doing, admitting that you make a mistake, asking for help. I actually have an employee who recently had confessed to me that they were feeling some imposter syndrome, and they were really afraid to tell me that because they had gotten feedback at one point in their past that, like, you should never tell a CEO that you have imposter syndrome. It's not a good look. And I said to them, I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I'm so grateful that you told me that because I feel that every day of my life. And if we don't talk about it, you don't think it's normal, and you don't realize that other people that you think have it all together feel like they don't know what they're doing sometimes. And that makes you feel better about your situation. It can make you feel more confident. And I've had leaders do that for me that really opened my eyes to the fact that, okay, I'm doing okay. If they feel like this sometimes, I'm doing okay. They'll tell me if I'm not doing okay. So I really encourage everyone to share how they're feeling with me. Like, let me know if you're blocked. Let me know if something's not working so we can fix it. And I try to share that back. Like, I will tell them honestly how I'm doing on a particular day. And you have to model that as a leader in the company, whether you're part of the official leadership team functionally or just like a culture leader, a function leader.
Thank you for sharing the example. It's so true. And I recall some circumstances where I had leaders above me, who were very authentic and real. And, that just fostered a lot of confidence for me in the company and in the leadership of the company. So that was a good example. What initiatives at Doppler are you most proud of and that demonstrate your commitment to community and giving back?
Well, I've only been in the CEO seat for a few months, so the initiatives that I'm really proud of that Doppler has done are not ones I originated, but I'm very passionate about keeping them going and making sure they continue to evolve. The one that I think is most exciting is our kind of commitment to the next wave of developers. That translates through our free sign-up. We have a free version of our product that is forever free. It is perfect for someone who is, got a side project, who's just learning how to be a developer, where you don't have, a ton of cash to spend on all of these tools, but you need to have a secrets manager in play. And we're a proud partner of the GitHub education program as a result, where as a student of the GitHub education program, you get access to all of these different tools, and we give users free access to our paid version of our product, where their team or their class or their group that's working on a particular project can learn how to be a developer with secrets kind of at the core handled and managed, and you aren't going around that process. I think that's going to help the next wave of, customers or champions, whether for us or just other secrets managers. The world kind of benefits from better security. We also have Doppler Share, which is a free tool for anyone. You don't have to be a developer to share any piece of text with anyone else. Typically, maybe a password, your Netflix password, instead of sending it via text, you would use Doppler Share and send it via secure link, or instead of emailing it or Slacking it. Developers use it a lot, but it's really for anyone. It is completely free, and it's just another way to kind of expose people to a more secure way of doing things. So I'm super excited about those things. I'm proud that we offer them. And then we also offer discounts to any nonprofit or open source project that might want to use Doppler to help ease the burden of needing to bring a secrets manager on and have a secure product.
Last question. What advice would you share with early career professionals about shooting their shot and advancing in tech?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't shoot my shot and try to take an opportunity that, like, on paper I wasn't qualified for. I say that, like, not asking is the fatal blow as opposed to getting rejected. I often say to someone thinking about doing that, what is the worst that can happen? They might say no, but they might say yes, and you won't get that yes if you don't shoot your shot. So experiment widely, message with different teams, volunteer for projects outside of your scope to get exposure to different departments and different functions. And then when you're ready, shoot your shot. Like, take a stab at it, because someone is going to do it. It might be you. And then if you get that shot, if you're given that yes, follow up, like, make sure you come through and prove it, fake it till you make it type of thing.
Always ask for the business. Thanks, Amber. I really appreciate you joining us today. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.